Airworthiness Regulations. The standards and recommended practices for airworthiness are published by the International Civil Aviation Organization in Annex 8 of the Convention on International Civil Aviation. However, since the organization is not a regulatory authority, the standards and recommended practices are not regulation. Consequently, the organization's member states, which is essentially made up of all countries involved in civil aviation, are obligated to translate the standards and recommended practices into regulations within their jurisdiction. In order to have a frame of reference for our discussions within this channel, we will focus on airworthiness regulations within the European Union, as applicable to aircraft used for commercial air transport operations. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, is the regulatory authority for civil aviation within the EU. It is supported in its oversight responsibilities by the national aviation authorities of its member states, also referred to as competent authorities. The EU's airworthiness regulatory framework is split into two strands: the initial airworthiness regulation and the continuing airworthiness regulation. Let's explore each of these in some detail. The initial airworthiness regulatory framework, officially referred to as Commission Regulation EU No. 748 of 2012, refers to the regulation governing the airworthiness and environmental certification of aircraft and aeronautical products, parts and appliances, as well as the approval of the organizations involved in these. It is made up of 5 key elements. Let's outline and briefly expound on each of these. The first element, regulatory articles, are the core part of the framework, with each representing separate and distinct items of regulation. They are also referred to as the cover regulations. You could think of them as the executive summary of the framework. The second element, implementing rules, are the expounded and standardized requirements and procedures emanating from the regulatory articles, which are designed to govern the day-to-day application of the framework. The implementing rules are detailed in Annex 1 of the framework, which is also referred to as Part 21. We will unpack and explore Part 21 in a dedicated supplementary presentation to this series. The third element, certification specifications, are the airworthiness codes and standards against which new aircraft type designs are assessed and certified. The fourth element, acceptable means of compliance, are provided by EASA as a way in which compliance with the implementing rules can be demonstrated. And finally, the fifth element, guidance materials, are provided by EASA to facilitate correct understanding and application of all the previously stated elements of the regulatory framework. The regulatory articles and implementing rules are referred to as hard law because they are legally binding and enforceable. On the other hand, the remaining 3 elements of the framework are referred to as soft law because they do not hold the same legal status as the former. However, any alternative proposals to these must be demonstrated to and accepted by EASA as wholly meeting the intent of the hard laws. The Continuing Airworthiness Regulatory Framework, officially referred to as Commission Regulation EU No. 1321 of 2014, refers to the regulation governing the continuing airworthiness of aircraft and aeronautical products, parts and appliances, as well as the approval of the organizations involved in these. It is made up of 4 key elements: regulatory articles, implementing rules, acceptable means of compliance, and guidance materials, which may be defined as previously discussed. The implementing rules are detailed in several annexes, including Annex 1, also referred to as Part M, on continuing airworthiness requirements. Annex 2, also referred to as Part 145, on maintenance organisation approval. Annex 3, also referred to as Part 66, on maintenance personnel licensing requirements. Annex 4, also referred to as Part 147, on maintenance training organisation approval. And Annex 5C, also referred to as Part CAMO, on continuing airworthiness management organisation approval. We will unpack and explore each of these in dedicated supplementary presentations to this series. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you found this presentation useful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button to ensure you're informed when we release the next video in the series. Feel free to also like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks again.